Last topic for tonight, guys, is Patton Oswalt to Bill Maher and Richard Dawkins. It's okay to be an atheist, but not a jerk. Drew, have at it.
In a sit-down interview with Salon editor-in-chief David Daly, comedian Patton Oswalt expressed his displeasure with the no-holds-barred atheism of HBO host Bill Maher and evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins, comparing them to Fred Phelps, the late leader of the anti-gay Westboro Baptist Church. Oswalt, who was engaged in a low-level war with Salon over what Daly called, quote, political correctness about jokes that we thought have gone too far or hit the wrong targets, was asked how he felt about Maher's aggressive comments about religion. The comedian and author said he's not a fan, while also including Richard Dawkins. He says, quote, I feel as an atheist about people like Richard Dawkins and Bill Maher the way that Christians must feel about Fred Phelps. Look, being an atheist means you don't give a fuck about what anyone believes in. I don't think any of it's real, but you can go ahead and do it. I'm not trying to destroy religion. I just don't care about it. After stating that he lives by his own moral code, Oswald stated that he is not inclined to assign blanket blame to religion when people use it to justify their actions. I live by experience, failure, learning, that kind of stuff. Everyone that goes, but all the war is because of religion, blah, blah, blah. Well, then you're no different from the housewife that's like, my son killed himself because of a Judas Priest record, he said. No, your son killed himself because he was an unstable idiot. Those people started wars because they were unstable idiots. They stumbled across this religion thing, but if they hadn't found that book, they would have found something else. Maher was recently involved in a recent dust-up with actor/director Ben Affleck, with Affleck saying of Maher's criticism of Islam that it was gross and racist.
Thank you there, Drew.
God damn.
One quote I want to hit on is his quote where, I'm not trying to destroy religion, I just don't care about it. Well, apparently he doesn't care about equality or basic human rights or the wars that are going on in this world and just what the GOP is trying to do with gay marriage and women's reproductive rights. I guess he just doesn't care about those fucking issues where Bill Maher and Richard Dawkins try to hit on once in a while. I guess he doesn't care about that shit. I understand what he's talking about, but come on, man.
They would just find a different book or whatever. What a stupid argument, because the worst part about religion is that they are claiming they're doing it because God says it's okay, or God is the one telling them, giving them the information, so they have that ultimate authority. That's what sucks about religion. You take that away, and they have to come up with an actual fucking reason. That why they're doing shit, not just like God said it's okay. God wants me to do this. God condones it. God wrote the Bible. God. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, religion is just kind of the quick path to the lunacy and violence and oppression and hate and death and all that other shit. Yep. And that's what makes it one of the worst ideas that we've ever had. I mean, overall. I mean, you can't. I guess you can't paint all religion with the same brush, but that's just kind of the calling card of all these people. When he's talking about and comparing that to, the mom, like, oh, it was because of that Judas Priest record that my kids killed themselves or whatever. It's like, no, I mean, one of them puts you on the quick path. The other is music. I mean, and even if you were to read something in there, think about it. Judas Priest has how many fans? And if there was something in their music that made them kill themselves, then how many? I would be dead. Everybody who's a Judas Priest fan would be dead.
These are the Christians out there. Like back in the day with Judas Priest, they used to rewind the fucking records, man, to try to get some kind of subliminal message out of them, like satanic fucking message, and they would interpret like a fucking message, like Satan. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, I'm like, these are the people that believed in that shit back then, when these records came out. And Judas Priest was in a lawsuit, I think, 15, 20 years ago about this type of shit. They were taken to court because a kid killed himself. It's like, come on, really, dude? But go ahead, Paul. I think you want to say something. Paul?
Sorry, I had to restart my
oh, it's okay.
mixer there.
I thought you were saying something.
Is that okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, you sound good, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. I had to restart. Yeah, it's like screwing up. All right, sorry. Patton Oswalt, I was going to say about him. He, interestingly, he also went on a Twitter rant against SJWs. So he's actually being very hypocritical. He's talking about people who are going after Islam and not being nice, or going after Islam, or people who are speaking their mind, speaking the truth of the matter about certain things in the world. And he's saying, oh, they're being too aggressive, too mean about it. And then he goes on a rant on Twitter about the SJWs, the extreme political correctness people, and how they've taken it too far. So I don't know. It's just interesting that he would have these type of views.
Very
kind
hypocritical.
of opposing.
No doubt. You're 100% right. And Creationist Cat, what do you have to say, buddy?
I have 2 points.
Sure, go ahead. 2 points. All right.
I mean, the first thing is, okay, here we have a guy that I'm not too fond of, but he is insulting two the figureheads of the atheist movement and calling them assholes. I'm not going to argue with the guy.
They called him jerks.
That's the first thing. I mean, like, I think he's, if anything, the guy's like onto something. But the second thing that I think is interesting that you guys might find and your audience might find interesting is that not only has he made these comments, but recently he also dissed James Randi. He was talking about, I believe it was the placebo effect. They were talking about I think that they were talking about both homeopathic medicine, if you want to call it medicine. And so, and also that what is that? What airborne? You guys have heard of that stuff? It's actually a homeopathic remedy.
Vitamin C, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you guys can look it up because I'm kind of like remembering the facts here poorly. But he basically said that he thought that James Randi was an asshole because he was ruining the placebo effect for everybody. It's like a very like weird reasoning that he's using. And I don't know. It's just kind of like, it makes you think that the guy is kind of like, on like he has like atheists and skeptics, like, in his sights right now. He's like trying to like tear them down or something, which is totally cool with me. I mean, like, I'm all for that. But, I think he's, to tell you the truth, I think he's like one of the funniest comedians that's been around like the past 10 years. But these statements are pretty retarded. If I wasn't a creationist, that is, I would find these statements pretty retarded. I had to, kind of say that as a caveat. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
So you see where we're coming from.
Yeah. He can put himself or yourself. He can put the cat self in our shoes. Understand where we're coming from, just like I'm able to put myself in like religious people's shoes. So religious, and I can understand that their religious freedom is important, and I certainly don't want to take anyone's religious freedom away. I just don't want their religious freedom to impose on other people, and when it does, to say that those who call out those abuses of that freedom are assholes or jerks or whatever, I think is completely missing the fucking point.
Very well said. Yeah.
What would you call Martin Luther King Jr.? You'd call him what a jerk. He should have just freaking There's racists, but most people aren't, and you're just blaming it on something. If it wasn't hating on blacks, they'd hate on someone else. And we're just gonna fix things one thing at a fucking time. Until there's always going to be problems, but to say fuck it, we're not even going to try and fix it. What a shitty fucking way to go. And sure, there's a difference between atheists and anti-theists, but progressives, liberals. I guess there's a difference there too. But I mean, it's generally the same fucking thing. You got the same. There's small differences, but your main goal is in the same fucking direction. And we can all understand that, but this indifference that he's talking about to say, oh, just don't give a shit. Like, go fuck that shit. I'm sorry. I care too much. And if I didn't give a shit as much as you want me to, I wouldn't give a fuck about your opinion, Patton Oswalt.
Great fucking rant there, TJ. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Damn it.
That's great rant, dude.
James Randi. How dare James Randi want reality to be what we go on instead of superstitious woo-woo bullshit. God damn. Have you seen him swallow a whole fucking bottle of homeopathic sleeping pills? He does it every goddamn talk, pretty much.
Yeah.
He hasn't killed him yet.
I want to ask Creationist Cat, what Patton Oswalt said, if he was a cat, would you think he was on catnip or no?
Good question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
CC?
Catnip is, it's not really, it doesn't have really the effects on humans. But what is your question?
Has a hell of an effect on cats, now, doesn't it?
What's your question?
Someone might be on the cat.
It's all right.
Look. I recommend catnip, but I don't recommend freebasing it. It does.
Okay.
Yeah. That's really all I have to say about the matter. Don't freebase the catnip.
Free-based catnip.
Words of wisdom from Creationist Cat.
Words of wisdom from Creationist Cat.